That broadcast is live. Yay.
Yes.
I guess
Yep.
there's a little bit delay on the YouTube side. Yeah. I'm actually opening up the YouTube. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Now it's live.
Cool, it's live.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. So, let's start. 少しだけ日本語喋ります、最初だけ。Okay. So, oh. Okay. Then shall we start? Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever. We are really pleased to hold this session. The story behind Autify Series A. So, shall we start? 皆さんお集まりいただきありがとうございます。Autify の、今回の資金調達の裏話ということでイベントを開催させていただきます。よろしくお願いいたします。Okay, so first of all, I want to ask and share to you guys several things. You can ask questions to the speakers via Slido. Slido is the tool, like questioning tool. Either Japanese or English is okay. Ro is gonna handle it. And questions will be answered by the speakers at the Q&A session. So please feel free to questioning. And to post the Slido, use the QR code and enter the event code Autify_series_A. And tweets are also very welcome. Autify and hashtag Autify_series_A. And also, we look forward to hearing your thoughts on the chat, YouTube chat as well. They will be very welcome. So, I'd like to hand over to Will, our CEO, who will introduce Autify to you guys at first. So, Ryo-san, お願いします。
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for having the time today. Maybe in your lunchtime or like in the night time. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. First of all, I would like to introduce what Autify is, what we do, our company culture and stuff. Like just a little bit briefly. Then yeah, we'd like to move on to the panel discussion session. Yeah. So, first of all, am I sharing my screen?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, first of all, let me give you a little bit of my introduction. So I'm Rio, CEO and co-founder of Autify. So I myself has been doing the software engineering for past 10 years and then worked in the three different countries, Japan, Singapore, and United States, San Francisco. Yeah. Then after having that experience, I co-founded this company back in 2016. Then, I mean, the beginning was not even Autify. Then we had I think like over 8 pivots, and then we renamed our company twice, and then finally arrived at Autify. So I actually wrote the story about this kind of like a pivoting and how to solve the burning needs. So you can check it out. So there's a blog post. Yeah. So that's me. Then also about the company. So we are US headquartered. We have a Japanese branch, and then founded 2016, as I mentioned. Then currently our member is the 30 members. Then yeah, so we launched the Autify officially back in 2019. Then we just launched the Autify for mobile, which is the native mobile app testing support product in this month at the same time of the Series A announcement. Yeah. So yeah, now we cover the both web application as well as the mobile native app for automating tests. So which is very exciting, I think. Yeah. Then so this is our current team. So we now have the 30 members, as I mentioned. Then yeah, 1/3 of members, their native tongue is not Japanese, so like our common language is in English. Then yeah, so we are expanding the team. So if you are interested in joining us, please let me know. We are very actively hiring in variety of positions. So yeah, so that's about the team. Then yeah, also like we are really like international full remote work. So we do have a team in the US, in Japan, and then um, people working from outside of Japan as well. So yeah, then we are full remote. Although we are having we're gonna opening up the new physical office next month, but yeah, so we keep the remote work environment, and so that we can work with anyone from all over the world. Yeah. So that's our kind of like how we work. Oh, there's a nice Japanese subtitle on the bottom, which is cool. Yeah. Then yeah, so kind of like moving on to the what we do. So we do software testing automation, as you guys know. So what is happening in the software testing environment is there's still a lot of company rely on manual testing, which is said like 75% of the companies still rely on manual testing usually. But as you guys might know, the software team is moving really fast. 70% of the agile team now aims to release more than once a week. So like if you rely on the manual testing, that is too slow to meet that kind of frequency of the deployment. So we would say that the automation is now required for the continuous innovation. It's not optional. Yeah. So the question is how you automate your testing. Um, then there's the two main common problems of software testing automation. One is lack of automation talents. So if you are to automate your testing, you basically need the engineering resources, right? So engineers need to write the testing code. Yeah, but it's really difficult to keep having those engineering talents, automation talents. So that's the first problem. Who's going to actually automate the testing, right? So that is the first problem. And then the second problem is obviously, like as you guys know, like a huge maintenance cost. So every time you change something onto your application, you also need to update your testing script. So the testing script, like I'm particularly saying the end-to-end testing, but which is kind of very fragile, unstable. So every time you change something, you also need to update the testing script. So which actually costs like roughly saying 20 to 30% of the whole time. So which is really huge cost. So yeah, those two are the biggest problem in the testing automation. Yeah. So how we solve that? So Autify enables to solve those main problems by providing the no-code platform. So first of all, since we are no-code, anyone can do it. Not only engineers, but also like non-technical, the people who don't mainly write code. So and then also like because no code, it's simple, really fast to automate your testing. Yeah, so you can actually scale your automation activity to anyone. Yeah, so that's number one. And then the other solution for the maintenance cost is like our AI automatically maintains the task scripts. So basically, like the part you need the maintenance is the kind of like a slight UI change. So the button color is changed, or like the position of the button is changed. So like with those kind of small changes, like we automatically detect that and fix the scenario, so that you don't really need to take your time to just updating the class name or like element locator and things like that. Yeah. So that's the second biggest solution of us. Yeah. So yeah, I would like to quickly jump onto the our live demo so that you can understand like how Autify works. So let me see. Yeah. So first of all, our application works on the cloud, so that if you have browsers, you can access to it from anywhere, right? And then, so first of all, if we want to create the scenario, the testing scenario, you go to the scenario page and then click new button. Then you can just fill in your application's URL. So we are, let's say, testing the autify.com and then start recording. So once click start recording, the new browser window will be opened up. Yeah. Then you can see on the right bottom, there's the Autify recorder. So which records your interaction to this newly opened window. Then let's see, we do have the demo request form on the bottom. So let me create a test that tests with this demo request behavior. So I want to test if we can actually send the demo request. Yeah. So we can also automate the email testing. You can create the random email address and then copy it so that we can generate the random email address every time you run this test. So this can be used for your the user sign up flow or something like that, which is pretty useful, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So I want to send a request for both web and mobile, and then click request demo. Yeah. So those interactions, my interaction is now recorded by Autify, right? Then, okay, I can also add the assertion, and then, okay, I should be able to see this thanks message. Yeah, save assertion. Then now the email has to be sent. So we actually have implemented the email inbox as well. So yeah, so now you can see the email has been sent to my inbox, so I can check it out the content. So you can also set the assertions to your email content, so you can actually test with your email, which is cool. So yeah, I can assert against this one, and then yeah, so hi Rio Chikazawa, this message has to be appeared in this email content. Then save assertion. Yeah, then everything is done. So you click save, and then it goes back to the original scenario screen. Then yeah, now you can see this kind of visually nicely constructed the automated test. Yeah, so you can edit pretty quickly. Then yeah, so you can actually also run this test quickly on Chrome. Then we do have the different options for another browsers. We do have all the let's say best plan. We do have all the PC browsers as well as the real smartphone devices. Yeah. So we do have those options as well as the real smart devices like iPhone 11, iPhone 10s, or like even iPad. Or we do have the Android devices. Yeah. So you can quickly run your test among those different types of devices as well as the browsers. Yeah, so which is pretty easy. Yeah. Then yeah, so another part is the the AI. So as I mentioned, the maintenance AI. Once the AI finds the changes of the UI, it shows like this. Previously, it was this, clicking the horizontal layout of the footer, and then click the career button here. But recently, it changed into the more like a column-based UI. So if you just go with the Selenium or a simple a code-based solution, you might not be able to detect this new element because this is a totally different element in the HTML code. But we understand the context of those elements so that we can point out that, oh, this should be the element that you have clicked initially. So we can continue the test. Yeah, then it works in the following steps. So you can easily say that, okay, those two elements are identical. Yeah, works in the same way. So you can just click save as passed. Then this change will be now applied to your original testing scenario, so that you don't, so that the review needed flag won't be appeared next time you run the scenario. So a really tedious, time consuming maintenance can be done with this, with just clicking one button. Yeah. So you can save the tons of time for the maintenance. Yeah. So that's the basic concept of Autify and what we do. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can post it onto the I forgot the name of the types the slide. Sorry, this is slide. I forgot the name of
So
the QA service. But yeah, yeah, slide. Sorry, yeah, slide. I was
slide,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, slide. Yeah. And then yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Then yeah, so that's all from me. So yeah, we would like to move on to the panel discussion. Then is that okay? Or
Yeah. We've got some questions already.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Really looking forward to answer. Yeah, these questions. Okay. Cool. So I think we can answer those questions later on. Yeah.
Yep.
So shall we move on to the panel then? Yep. So yeah, that was Autify, and then yeah, so let's move on to the panel discussion. We today we got the great panels. Saleo from the Uncollated Ventures and the Masaya from Will. So those two guys like invested in Autify in this round, the Series A 10 million. Yeah. So we would like to like discuss. We would like to talk about how the partnership made happen, or like why you guys investing in Autify, what's the potential, and then how to like crack the global market and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, could you guys introduce briefly yourself, please, starting from Saleo?
Hi, I'm Salil Deshpande. I'm the founder of Uncorrelated Ventures. Before that, I was with Bain Capital Ventures for 7 years. And before that, with another firm called Bay Partners. So I've been a VC for 15 years. And before that, I was a software engineer for 15 years. And I invest in infrastructure software, which is software that makes other software work.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So Masaya, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Masaya Kubota. I'm a partner of Will. Will is Japan/US based VC. We started back in 2014 when I joined as a founding member. And then we have been investing in these two countries, US and Japan mainly. Before Will, I was with the financial institution and then tech bankers helping the tech companies to do M&A and capital market transactions. Hi. Yep. That's
Thank you
me.
so much. So yeah, we do have the list of like discussion topics. Actually, like mainly five topics. So yeah, shall we move on to the first one? Yeah. So the first question, like the first topic, is very straightforward. I think. Yeah. Why did you guys invest in Autify? Yeah, I'm pretty interested. I mean, I've been hearing like the reason from you guys, but yeah, really wanna ask you again, why did you invest in Notify?
Should I go first?
Yeah, of course. Please.
Yeah, so testing is a massive problem. 30% of the cost of developing software is testing the software.
Yeah.
And 70% of that testing ends up being manual. And the reason for that is you start with automation, but then the tests get stale because the software changes. And when the software changes, the tests start failing. And so someone has to go and update the tests and maintain the tests, and that requires engineering again. So should engineering be working on the software or be working on maintaining the tests? So eventually more and more tests get stale, and then the QA people say, forget about these automated tests. Half of them are broken. We'll do some automated testing, but we'll do the rest manually. And that's why 70% of the tests end up being manual, which is crazy. And the reason the tests fail like that and they don't keep up with the software is that they're brittle. The tests are brittle, and they break very easily because they have references to specific elements in the HTML in the DOM, and when you change that around, the tests break. So this is the solution. This was needed for a long time, where you need software that understands what the test is trying to do and understands the software that's being tested and modifies the tests, maintains the tests without human beings have to spend time doing that, so that more testing can be automated, not manual. And I had known about this problem for a while. I had looked at Selenium very, very early. Back then, it was state of the art. I thought it was interesting. I had not known about Autify, but when I met Rio and learned about Autify, I said, the two things matched. I said, aha, I know this is a problem, and here's a solution. And so it only took me an hour or two to understand, okay, this is what you're doing, and this is a good solution.
Wow. Thanks a lot. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess like your the background like careers, I felt that like your background is pretty unique. Like you've been doing this software developer for 15 years, and then after that you turn into the VC, right? Then like yeah, so you deeply understand like how Selenium works, and then what's the pain point in the software development. Like have you even like wrote the Selenium script before?
I have not written Selenium scripts, but I have written unit tests. Obviously, I've written a lot of software, and I've written tests for that software, just not with Selenium.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, so there's just tons of like a huge pain, like as you mentioned, like the most of the automated test is really brittle, so like you need to like rewrite everything, so like you ended up being that like manual testing is faster than just fixing
right.
all the tests. So I mean, I myself, like when I was doing the front end development, and then like I've been writing a bunch of like end-to-end testing automation, and then I thought like end-to-end testing automation is like something not variable, because like it requires a lot of maintenance. So I thought like manual testing is like manual testing is even better than the automating the end-to-end test. Back in when I was the engineer, right? So, but I know that is a huge pain. So like if there's the right solution, like it's gonna be the huge impact to the software development world. So yeah, that's actually how we started Autify. So yeah, thanks a lot. So what about you, Messiah?
Yes. I met Leo almost for 2 years ago. Then we have met from time to time. Actually, I was impressed from the first time we met, how big the market is, how deep the pains are, how product is good, and then how cohesive the teams are. So I was so much impressed from the beginning of the meeting with Leo and Autify. So, well, if you ask me why, then I could answer that. From the time when we met, I almost decided that we should do this.
Really?
Well, yeah,
Thanks a lot.
that's the
Yeah.
short answer. But seriously, I have two components to explain why we are so fascinated with Autify. So first, I believe that Autify's potential to go global, which is the main theme of this call. But I wrote this. I wrote a long blog post in our website, but
Yeah.
we believe that Japan-born advantage, which is no-code product in this case, is more allowing much wider people to automate testing. Automate testing would be a thing and a problem for everyone, not for the tech companies, as software is eating the world. So this is democratizing the very painful software testing by no-code solution. So we see this potential. This is the number one first part of the reason. Then the second reason is that we actually started in 2014 as a team of 7. So we are a venture. Then we do invest in Japan, the US. So we are actually competing in the global market as Autify does. So I think, yeah, so we feel actually a lot of, we felt a lot of sympathized with the desire and the challenges that Leo explained to me. Then we feel that, oh, this is the one that we can help and that we would like to support as a global one team farm. So I feel that how competitive the BC markets are in Bay Area from my colleagues in the US, but we could have achieved some results since our inception 7 years ago. So I think there's a way to do if there's a will. So yeah, this is a second reason why we are excited about Autify.
Yeah. Actually, like what impressed me, like while we were talking, Masaya told me that the wheels one of the mission is like help the kind of Japanese company to like aim for the global market. So
Yep.
like you said the like a really you were really passionate about like supporting the those kind of like building helping those kind of like a successful case like which
Yep.
we haven't seen the huge successful case yet, like starting out beer out from the Japan and then like taking over the global market. Like we haven't really seen that kind of successful case yet. Then yeah, so what impressed me a lot was like Masaya actually told me that they really want to support that kind of case and then let's make it happen together. So yeah, that's the one of the biggest reason that okay, we should
Yeah,
make
we are not salarymen, so we are taking the risks. We have had some very tough challenges we confronted, and then competed against with a bunch of players out there. So I feel that our experiences can be useful for the next challengers like Autify to go global. So that's another reason why we are so excited. Yep.
Thank you so much. Then yeah, and also yeah, so what Sal mentioned like during our conversation, like yeah, you said to me that our growth is best in class. So like I actually wanted to ask you like if that is true or like what's the best in class?
Yeah, the growth is very good, and growth relative to burn is very good. That ratio is very good for Autify. There is a blog by Craft Ventures called Burn Multiple. So if you go read that blog post, they talk about net burn during a period compared to net new ARR added during that period. And that's a good metric because it captures, there are other ways of calculating gross margin and go-to-market costs and various other things. But if you just capture the entire net burn in a period and look at net new ARR added during that period, it captures everything. So according to all of those metrics, Autify is best in class.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I was really glad to hear that. Like when you said that you're best in class, because we are like I aiming for the best in class in global, like among the global startups, and then you've been looking at the lots of like the startup from all over the world, and if we could be categorized as the best in class, like that is actually what we are aiming for. So yeah, I was really glad to hear that. So
yeah, so big market and so far best in class, with most of the market not penetrated yet. So it's a good combination.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that is the biggest part. Like, there's no like the biggest winner in this market yet. So I mean, there's a tons of potential to take that winner position.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Yeah, very. I'm very excited. Cool. So shall we move on to the next part?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in this. Like, what do startups that can win in the global market have in common? So, yeah, Saleo, you've been seeing a lot of like companies globally. I think like even in your portfolio, like some companies like born out of like outside of US and then successfully take over the global market. So what do they do?
Yeah. So the common things are they are going after a big, broad problem, which translates into big market. But by big, broad problem, I mean, for example, testing. Everyone has software. Everyone needs to test software. You need to automate your tests. You need to maintain your tests. Everybody has that. That's not a problem specific to Japan or the US or the UK. Everyone that has software has that problem. So that's a broad enough problem. Great team, elegant solution, and then probably most importantly, the high quality software that sells itself, so that it can be product led growth, so that the cost of sales is not too high. The product customer should be able to look at the product uh, and the product should sell itself without having to talk to lots of salespeople and having to make a business case. Especially when you're going global, that's helpful. And then it doesn't really matter where the company is. I've invested in companies where the founders were in Estonia, Sweden, Switzerland, UK, Israel, Sydney. I don't know if I mentioned that. Serbia. So as long as they're going after a global market, it doesn't matter where they are, especially the engineering teams. Eventually, after the company gets big enough to address the US market, it helps to have a go-to-market team and go-to-market leadership in the US. But that's not until later.
I see. So you've been seeing a lot of like companies who have like maybe an engineering team outside of the US, or like
Yeah.
even like founders like is outside of the US.
Yep. Pretty common actually. Probably 1/3 of my investments, the founders and the engineering team are outside the US.
1/3.
1/3, yeah. Generally, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, India, Israel. Generally not Latin America. Generally not Africa.
Why is that so? Like I've been seeing a lot of like successful patterns, like where the other company born in Europe and then like later taking over the global market. So like, how do you see the difference between like maybe not in Latin America or Africa, or like maybe even in Asia? So I mean, the India could be Asia, but yeah.
Yeah. So I don't when I find companies, it's not because of geography. So I'm not looking at opportunities by geography at all. I'm reading technical blogs, Hacker News, things like that, where it's not categorized by geography. If I find something interesting, it may happen to be in India, it may happen to be in the UK. I don't know where it is. I have to go find out where it is. Right. So that's why they end up being where they are. I don't know why there are fewer in Africa or fewer in Latin America.
I see. But yeah, I guess maybe like you as an investor or like even users doesn't really care about like where the company is from or like where they are. So yeah,
I think
Yeah.
that's the beauty of the dev tools, right? So developers can speak the same languages, can communicate even they work remotely. Then good product is good, simply speaking. So so that's
that's
the
true.
advantage of doing this horizontal products across the globe. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, because I can list lots of like the startups like who was born out of the U.S. Born outside of the U.S. Like let's say like Algolia started from the
Yeah.
France, then the content
Algolia
for
is our portfolio company. Yeah,
oh yeah
as
yeah yeah your
you
portfolio.
know.
Yeah
Yeah,
Algolia.
they were born in France,
Mm.
and then they went to YC
Mm.
right after they were born in 2014. And then they actually stayed in San Francisco. Um, then they just moved the headquarters there. But
Yeah yeah yeah.
they, still have the big developer team in France, home
France.
country. So where they are able to leverage uh, the hiring the good trend, because the founders are quite popular, famous, well-known engineers. So their names are really striking to the developer community out there. So they just avoiding the talent war in Bay Area. Instead, they just hire the quite qualified talent in France. So that's
Right.
precedent that Autify can learn from and then can copy some. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because keep engaging with the great like a tech talent in the US, especially in the Bay Area, is really tough because there's the tons of like aggressive
Yeah, Salira
kind of
has tons of
recruiting war.
experiences a topic about that, but
Yeah.
it's a really crazy high expenses. If I were to answer this question, what one common thing shared amongst the global successful startup is the product. As Sadleo mentioned, I have a quite similar opinion. The power is currently shifted from the corporation to the users. So users can decide which is good, which is not good. So that is even said to be the commercialization of the enterprise computing was a software. So even the word of like product led growth, if the product is good, then the product is leading the paving the path to grow. So I think there are bunch of elements to make a successful global company. But if I were to be asked to choose one, then more and more product is the quality of the product is more important. That means that so even if you are born in Japan, China, France, Estonia, you have the chance to go global. But there's another risk. There's also risks for you that if the good product which may be born out of even Africa may attack your market.
Yeah, so global competition.
Yeah, global competition is getting fierce. So
Yeah.
that's a vice versa. But if I were to choose or ask to choose one, then a good product.
So if we could build the great product, and then that can capture users, because like users doesn't take care like where they are, then also like I just wanted to pick the right solution.
I think all things are represented by the product. Philosophy. The quality. Everything is just the product, just the software, right? So product represents everything. That's a whole touch point for the users too, for your entire organization. So yeah.
Then also what I think it's interesting is like as Saleo mentioned that the like having the developer team outside the US, like it's like a 1/3 is actually like a huge. So is it kind of like a growing trend even like for the like US born startups, or like which is like just happen in the happen among the companies born outside the US, or like what do you think the trend?
Well, there are many more startups now. So there are many more startups outside the US, and there are many more startups in the US. So I'm not sure if the percentage is shifting one way or another. But I think actually I think it is. I think it is equalizing more. I think back in the old days, because of culture and other reasons, ease of access to capital, there used to be many, many, many more startups in California than anywhere else. And I think that's changing now. I think there are now many, many startups in other places. And now in the last couple of years, especially due to COVID, it started to matter less where you were. And physical proximity became less important. It'll become important again when we finally overcome COVID. But it taught us a lot of things about what we assumed were important. Some of those things were not important. The relationships that you can have over Zoom and the quality of those relationships is more important than physical proximity. Physical proximity can help, but it's not the whole solution. So I think for all of those reasons combined, and I think even before COVID, all the countries were developing and coming online and becoming more entrepreneurial. So that was happening anyway. So I think it is more. There are more non-US startups now than have ever been before.
I see. Yeah. So I feel that the kind of like a startup world was previously like a really like a closed, like especially in the Bay Area, but like you see that now it opens up to like opportunities now everywhere. Then also the community is more kind of wider, more open, and things like that.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So shall we move on to the next topic then? Let's see. Yeah. So why do you think there are few startups that can win in the global market from Japan? I've actually written the blog post just recently, actually yesterday, published the blog post yesterday, which is now only in Japanese, but yeah, I will be translating in English. But yeah, I do have some opinion, but yeah, I want to ask you guys, how do you feel? So yeah, I think specifically Masaya, you have been seeing a lot of Japanese companies as well as the US startups, and yeah.
So
maybe
this
you have
question
some
is
opinion.
why few can win in the global market. So simply speaking, there are few challenging the global market. So too few challenges. Not many people are eyeing go global. So simply the reasons. Then the question is why too few challenges out there. So well, I think we need a role model. We need a hero. We have office in Palo Alto, right? So then, even if I go there, I walk around. I rarely meet Japanese. In Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Japanese community is quite tiny or small. So let's say if the big tech company CEO is like Japanese, if that happens, then the mentality of the Japanese entrepreneurs may change some. So if you think about Google, Microsoft, Adobe, the CEOs are all Indians. So, maybe, if I were to be born in India, I may think that I can be like that. So we need, let's say if the CEO of Netflix is Japanese, then I might think that, oh, this is my dream. I can be like that. But we don't have anyone yet. So we need some successful case as a tech entrepreneur, like the normal, that's a pitcher, baseball player, which went to the major league first amongst all the Japanese, and then did the very high huge success out there. Then Matsui, Ichiro, and Otani, Shohei followed. So I think we need that successful case possible. But with that, I think the whole situation may change.
That's a good point. Yeah. So in the major league scene, like that is actually happening, right? So like the Japanese player now, playing really well in the major league, and then people, like the baseball player
Yep.
born in Japan, like would dream that, oh, I might be
Yeah.
able to play in the major league,
Yeah.
eventually. So.
And then I agree with Leo, who you wrote that the English is a very basic fundamental issue uh, as to why Japanese are shy away from going global. But my English is like this broken, right? So then, as you feel that if you are in the U.S. or Bay Area, there are quite a few people who speaks very strange broken English. So, but they are really confident. They really really straightforward, and they are really um, logical. So, I personally think that the the people in America is trying to understand what you are trying to say, regardless of the pronunciation, grammars, or the qualities of the English. So the, it is okay, even if your English is really poor or really broken. You should trust your friends or customer who would try in most cases, understand what you wanted to say, because there are many people who are speaking those broken English out there. So, in essence, I think everyone should be more encouraged to communicate in English
Right. Yeah.
on the ground in the US. So, yeah.
Totally agreed. Yeah. Because I mean, I am not English native, of course, and then you know, I I started learning English from 18 or something like that, and then yeah, uh, I've been struggling a lot while studying English. But that's kind of mentality is also pretty
Yep.
important, right? So
Yep.
to catch up the English skill,
Right.
then this is the English is just the tool, the communication tool.
Yeah.
So like what's important is like your like what you wanna bring to the people who you are hearing from you. So
Yep.
uh, that's the mentality is definitely
Right.
very important. And then also like I think like the people in the Bay Area or like people in the tech is really open to like a diversity, right?
That's
So
right.
like there's
Yeah.
lots of different backgrounds, the variety of people. So like some speaks like English natively, but
Yep.
some speaks someone that might not be the English native. So
Yep.
yeah, like people are really open to those kind of like the
I think so.
diversity. So
Mhm.
what do you think, Saleo?
Well, Rio, you didn't tell Masaya-san that you and I have been emailing in Japanese the last couple of days.
Oh yeah. Right.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I was pretty surprised. Yeah. Saleo replied in Japanese, like
Oh,
a really
wow.
perfect Japanese, and then I was pretty surprised. Oh, you can actually use Japanese. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the trick is to use Google Translate, and when it converts it to Japanese, you convert the Japanese back to English to see if there are any changes. And if there are any changes, then it means the translation was not perfect. So then you keep changing the English so that after you do the reverse translation, there are no changes.
Right.
Anyway, besides the language issue, I think one reason there are fewer Japanese startups is that Japan was always a developed nation. Japan had a big economy and had a big domestic market. That was not the case with Estonia and Israel, and even in India, the domestic market for technology was not that large. For other things it was large. For commodities it was large, but not for infrastructure software. So they had to be global. in order, if they were going to be software, then they had to be global, and that was not the case with Japan. Japan was a developed nation with a big domestic market, so there were many startups that could be successful without being global. So.
Right. That's actually one of the point I've written about in my blog post. So like, you can easily access to the the developed, like, kind of larger economy, but the if you aim for like a global market, the that is like even much bigger, right? So like, like the digit might change. So you can create the 100 million or like a few 100 million of like evaluation startup, but like you cannot build the more than $1 billion company, right? So I mean, you can easily access to the that's kind of like a matured economy, but if you aim for global, you can create even like larger business. So but yeah, because it's very hard, including like English barrier, language barrier, or like something like that. So yeah, I guess like lots of like a Japanese entrepreneur doesn't even like aim for the global market, like just satisfied with just taking the Japanese market. So that is one of the big reason here, I guess. Yeah, that's a great point. Thanks. So yeah, maybe we should move over to the we have
We run out of time.
shall we? Yeah. A message to let's see. How should we build a team that can win? We actually talked about the team already, about the development team. So let's yeah. Do you have anything that you wanna answer to this question?
No, I already told. Yep, I'm fine.
Yeah, have we covered?
I guess my guideline would be to solve a problem for the U.S. markets, because the U.S. market is a good proxy for global markets.
Yeah. Yeah. I really
I
want to
still
hear
think
about
that if you say global, US is the biggest market, of course.
Yeah.
So, Leo, you may think at some point where you would be located, where you are stationed as a
Yeah.
management
So
team. So that yeah, the developer team, R&D team can be anywhere, but you'll be closer to the customer as much as
yeah.
possible. Yeah, proximity, as Salil mentioned, still matters. So
yeah, I guess should be I should be moving to the US some point. Yeah. So, but yeah, right.
I don't push.
No. I mean, I actually I planned. I mean,
Yeah.
from the beginning. Yeah. So
Right.
I guess maybe in 1 to 2 years, yeah, I should be moving to the US. So yeah. So yeah, but that's the point. Like the US is the biggest market, so like it's kind of like, so if you win the US market and you can win the global market, well, what do you think, Saleo?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you can win the U.S. markets, generally you can win in the global markets for, at least in my domain, infrastructure software.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for coal or steel, but for software, yeah, I think that is the same.
Yeah. Because that is the biggest market. So if you win the US market, you can raise more money, you can earn more money, then you can do the larger play.
Yeah.
Then eventually you can take over the rest of the market. So
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, cool.
100%. But it's good for the engineering teams to be remote first, though, and not dependent on the US. Not
because of the
cost and
cost. Yeah.
It's hard to retain people in certain areas. Like in Silicon Valley, it's hard to retain people. In some parts of India, it's hard to retain people. So it's better if you're remote first, because then you can access engineering talent anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm feeling that that's pretty important. Like even this kind of competition is happening in Japan. Like hiring the really great engineering talent in Japan is also getting kind of, that competition is getting heated up. So yeah, the remote international, like a global remote development team is pretty important aspect here. Cool. So yeah, let's move on to the last question and then moving on to the other QA. So any message to people who are trying to challenge the global market? Good one.
Okay. Let me start.
Yeah.
First, join Autify. Yeah. So let's get
Thank you
on
so
to
much. Yeah.
let's get on this ship.
Yes.
Then to take a journey together. It's a
Yeah.
really exciting, I guess. I
Mm.
believe. Challenging global market led by Leo. It's a long, bumpy road, but Salir, myself, and others would support. And then there's a huge opportunity out there. So challenging a global market is just jumping on this ship is a shortcut. Yeah,
Yeah.
then seriously, I would make another comment. These four questions above were like, how should we, how should the company do? But I think there's no clear one single answer. So, well, just do before you think. This is the answer, I think. Well, the answer can vary depending on where you are, which industry, which products you are dealing with. So your task is to find your own answers. There's no single one universal answers. If it's there, Sarira and I wanted to know because it's much more easier for us to find the best company in the world, but there's no answer. So my messages to everyone is just do like Leo did before you think. Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's simply speaking. Sorry. That's so very simple. Yeah, seriously, if I were to speak with my colleague in the US,
Yeah. Just do it.
well, just they don't think how, they just do and learn by their
Right. Right.
attempt or failure or this, yeah, the challenges. So, seriously, this is the way.
I agree.
And part of that is cultural, because the culture around you has to support you experimenting, trying things, failing, or partially failing, and then retrying and partially succeeding this time, all of that, so that the ecosystem has to support that.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Right.
So
Thanks a lot.
we already talked about remote first engineering teams, and eventually having a management team closer to the customers in the US and going after US markets. But the thing we didn't talk about is you need to have a leader who cares about world domination, like Rio does. Like Rio wants to dominate the world. So you need someone like that to follow, and that's why Masaya-san says join Autify. It makes a ton of sense to me.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So if anyone is interested in this kind of like a world domination challenge, yeah, join Autify. Yeah, let's do it together. Cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So we do have 2 minutes left, but yeah, can we extend perhaps? We do have a bunch of questions as well. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving us a lots of questions. So yeah, let me share the screen of the questions. Can you see my screen? Oh yeah.
Yep.
So let's cover it up. What kind of sales tool did you use besides LinkedIn when you send a cold message to a bunch of potential customers in the US while joining Alchemist Accelerator? Yeah, of course. We use LinkedIn Sales Navigator as well as the some like email guessing tool that is from guessing from the LinkedIn profile, then create a list of the emails and then send the massive email to the those kind of cold potential customers. Then what we use now for the US sales is like we use the tool called Outreach. So Outreach is kind of like outreaching sequencing tool. So we get the prospect's email address from ZoomInfo, or like you can find out like any other tools that you can acquire the emails. Then like sending out the cold emails to those leads from the via the outreach and with the automated sequences. Yeah, so that's what we do. Then yeah, so next
I have a suggestion. A couple of my companies are using a tool called SageTap.io. If you want to open a tab and show it, SageTap.io.
SageTap.
SageTap.io. And what they let you do is you record a video about your product, and you tell them what types of people, what profiles, what titles, what expertise do you want it to go to, and they send the video to those types of people, and those people can record their video feedback or ask for a sales meeting. And if they ask for a sales meeting, it comes back to you, and you get connected, and you can do a pitch.
Oh wow! So all you need to do is just recording the video.
Yeah, you record a 1-2 minute video for what the product does. It can be longer.
Really?
They have different packages, and they send it out to the people, the profiles of the people that you define. So, for example, if you wanted testers, or test managers, or QA managers, or whatever, then they would send it out to all the QA managers.
Wow, that's cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, I should be checking out too.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So yeah, so next question: which role are you looking for most to grow in the
I
US?
can answer this, but
Oh yeah, please.
yeah. By the way, Leo and I discussed this stuff from 7 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
With
we
my
have
US team. So there's a one very important position we are looking for.
Yeah, marketing
It's up.
manager. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, we are looking for marketing manager, and then yeah, also we are looking for the technical support engineer in the US region. Then yeah, we might be opening up the some sales position as well, account executive, as well as the maybe software development, sales development reps, SDR. Yeah. So mainly those kind of like business positions, and then later on we will be opening up the customer success and customer support. Yeah, in the US region. So those are the plans. What's your strategy to penetrate the US market? Yeah, I mean, there's no fixed strategy, but yeah, of course, like what we do is like starting out from the outreaching sales, and then yeah, we found some successful patterns to acquire the US customers, and then also starting from acquiring customers and then closing the contract, and then also like we could successfully expand the contract as well. So we've been seeing the some successful patterns from starting from the outreaching outbound, and then now is to focus more on the inbounds. Yeah, that's the strategy. But yeah, would like to get some feedback from you guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, Autify has hit TechCrunch US.
Oh yeah, we
Right,
got
then-
tons of inbounds. Yeah.
This past 1 week, Autify has got a huge tons of inbound leads. So
Yes.
so you see some PMF in the US already.
Yeah. We got tons of the inbounds. Yeah, the US teamers are now super busy with doing demos and so on. So, which is good. Cool. So yeah. What we do? Let's see. Can we continue, or like should we wrap up?
Oh, we can continue, and
maybe a little bit more, 5 minutes. Are
Yep.
you guys okay, Saleo and Masaya?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. We got so
Sure.
excited about the panel discussion, and then yeah, have the other only few minutes to cover the other Q&A. So um then yeah, the who supported you when you had hard time like pivoting for 2 to 3 years? Can you share those experiences, like how they supported and how you felt? Yeah. I actually had the really great mentor. Um, so he's always like supporting me you know, like he's like giving advice in the various way, but like the best advice he gave me is like don't give up. So like if you give up, like uh, the moment that startup dies is the when the founder gave up. So he said to me that like if you won't give up, you will be successful. So yeah, that's actually like that was really like how to say like really helpful back then, because I was really kind of like about to give up, but kind of related to this kind of like a global domination as well, like if you won't give up, you will be successful. So yeah, that's the one of the great advice I got from him. Yeah. So yeah, I think like I would recommend you to have those kind of mentor advisor. Yeah, I mean, although like he is not really like an official advisor of the company, but like we were friends, and like he is the serial entrepreneur. Then yeah, he supported me a lot. So without him, I think I cannot even arrive at Autify. So yeah. And then congrats for funding. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. How do you care your mental? Any habits?
Ramen.
So that. Yeah, I love really spicy ramen. Do you like spicy food, Salio? You
Yeah,
do?
I love spicy food, and I love spicy ramen also. There's a new place in Palo Alto called Ramen Naji.
Ramenaji. Okay.
They have. Do you know this place, Masaya-san?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
famous. There's a long queue always, right?
yeah. There's a very long queue. They don't take reservations. There are
You
always
need to
20
pay.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, you need to pay $20 for one ramen set
yeah.
for lunch.
Yeah, yeah. But they have
But
spicy ramen.
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, nice. Yeah. So yeah, actually the ramen. Maybe that's my habit. I don't know. Yeah, I really love the spicy ramen called
But that's not a
Nakamoto.
mental. But that's not a like mental care habit.
Maybe, yeah, but I don't know. That
That's like
supports my mental.
that's digestive health maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Like,
But
do you
Salil,
guys see? Yeah.
Salil, you may have some. You may know some cases in your other portfolios.
Yeah.
How the founders are carrying their own mentors, like hiring the mental advisors or mental, you know, consulting staff for. How
Hmm.
do they care? This is becoming a more and more serious problem for entrepreneurs. Seriously, so
Yeah, I don't have a good answer. I think each person is different. Each situation is different. The stresses of various situations are different. Sometimes you can be stressed out because the company is so successful, and you're always in that world domination mode. Sometimes you're stressed out because the company is not being successful enough,
Hmm.
and different people handle it differently. So I don't know what advice to give, and I'm not a professional psychologist. So Um, so yeah, but Bill in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they said, um, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Right. Mm.
I'm just being silly. I don't have any good advice.
Yeah. Cool. I think like sleep well, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, mm, I think like I have the kind of like I'm kind of like stress tolerant, so I basically I don't know like sometimes really stressed out, but like yeah, if I sleep, then that's fine. So sleep well is important, I guess.
yeah. Actually, that might be the 80-20. If you can get yourself just enough physically tired, because sometimes you're not physically tired enough because you've sat at the computer all day. So you're mentally tired but not physically tired, and so you don't sleep well. So you have to get yourself just enough physically tired so that you can sleep for a long time,
Ah, I see. I see.
9 hours.
That's good point. Okay, cool. Maybe yeah. Oh, two more questions. Yeah, we can cover it up quickly, very quickly. How do you use 10 million for growth? Hiring people. So that's the other answer because like that our the focus is definitely the world domination as I mentioned. So like to achieve that we need more engineers, we need more like sales in the US, marketing or customer support, and then also we need to grow the other Japanese the market as well. So yeah, I mean hiring. Yeah, that's the the usage of the fundraising amount. Yeah. So financial wise, how do you survive before fundraising? Before fundraising, difficult question. We do have more questions. We cannot cover everything. Maybe we should wrap up somewhere here because we already like yeah exceeded 10 minutes. So what do you think, Yuta?
Well, I think we can continue, and
Can we?
yeah, and participants can like drop whenever they want. So
Then
Yeah.
it is recorded, right? So you
yep,
can watch it later on.
yep.
Yeah.
If
I'm okay
Saleo
with
and
it. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm okay. Maybe you can just speed up the yeah.
Oh
How
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, let's speed up. Financial wise, how did you survive before fundraising? I mean, yeah, before fundraising, I actually like yeah. So I fundraising from the beginning actually. I mean, even before that fundraising, uh, just just using my money. So I mean, not generating any revenue, and then just um, you know, I actually like the like a really like a stressful like seeing the amount of money in the bank is decreasing, but yeah, that is the only way I guess without or like you can like earn some money from somewhere else, like starting out from like I don't know, like building software for someone else and then generate the money from there, or yeah, maybe. Well, what do you expect the VC besides money and following money? Oh yeah. So definitely, yeah, as I mentioned in the panel discussion, and then yeah, that this fundraising round is not just for money, of course. Like we are looking for the right partnership for the global market domination. So yeah, we could ended up having the great partnership with you guys, Masai and Saleo. So yeah, I'm really happy. Um, Then, in terms of priorities, how do you see the Southeast Asian market? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I do see that potential in the Southeast Asian market, to be honest. But we do have some customers in Singapore. Um, then the Singapore makes sense, I think. But then maybe I don't know. Like I've been talking with some company in Indonesia or like Thailand, but still like testers might be cheaper. So in that case, yeah, sometimes it wouldn't make sense for them to purchase Autify. But yeah, I mean, in terms of priority, I mean, we do have customers in Southeast Asia, and then yeah, we are ready to sell our solution to those companies, of course. How many competitors are in the US? Lots of competitors. I mean, yeah. So one of our biggest biggest customer in the US, they mentioned that to us that like they compared the 15 different solutions before choosing Autify. 15, 1 5. Yeah. So it can tell you that, how much competition is going on in the US, right? But, finally they end up choosing Autify, which is great. Yeah. So which one is the market leader currently? I don't think there's the one single winner or the market leader in this position as we discussed just earlier. So yeah, I mean there's the like tons of competitors, but like most of them are kind of like same stage, or like I would say no like a single winner so far. So yeah, that's what we think. Yeah, what do you think, Saleo?
Yeah, market is very fragmented. There are a lot of competitors. So Autify just has to out execute them. Has to have the best product. It's got a great start, and not many people have heard of Autify in the U.S. So we have to fix that, and then really assess. Once people have heard of Autify and enough people have compared Autify to the competitors, then we can reassess how strong are we against the competition.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty strong.
Yep. Cool. So, oh yeah, are you going to move to the US or stay in Japan? Yeah, I'm going to move to US some point. Yeah, of course. I think it's necessary. Yeah. So yeah, maybe like in 1 to 2 years range, I guess. Yeah. Any favorite English movies or documentaries to study English? Yeah. Funny story is like while I'm learning English, I was watching Prison Break. So I think that was really bad choice for learning English because like they are all bad guys, like uh, talking in the other really like a broken English, like So that was not the right movie or like a drama, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I would recommend listening to gangster rap.
Oh really?
No, I'm just kidding.
But it's kind of like a difficult to understand, right? I mean, really broken, and then like lots of like the casual kind of explanation and stuff. So I mean, yeah, it's interesting to learn those kind of expressions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lots of like the rap fans in the startup world, right? Yeah. Why did you start the Japanese market? Leveraging your background. Yes, leveraging my background, and then also the competition. Yeah, so that as I mentioned, like the competition in the US is really, really, how to say, really competitive. So like as a start, I thought like building the kind of like the strong customer base in Japan, and then also building out the great product first of all with the customers. Then yeah, then after like the solution is sophisticated, and then doing the business in the larger scale. But I mean, like even from the beginning, like we've been getting the some non-Japanese customers. Then also like we were providing the both Japanese and English in terms of the product language. So yeah, but yeah, that's the reason.
This is dangerous.
Maybe
So
we should
I
stop
actually
here.
gotta go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
So yeah, we should wrap up here. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you so much for your time. Yuta, I will hand this over back to you then.
Yeah, sure. But okay. Okay, can you display the slides again? And we are going to.
Maybe this.
Yep. Okay. So, okay. Thank you, guys, and apologize for like extending the session. Okay, finally, let me announce our following events. We are going to hold some more events. Starting on October 18, GST, Japanese Standard Time, so from Monday, we will be holding a series of 5 evening events, and like 5 nights in row. And you'll be able to talk face to face with the Autify teams, and the event will be held in Japanese. So check the information of each session from the URL or QR code. Just take a photo or you use camera, and there will be information about the events. So we are really looking for our members, future members, to work together. So please check these events or URL and just join us.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much again for everyone who joined this the session, and then also thank you so much, Sareo, for your time in the late night, and then yeah, apologize for extending the session, but yeah,
No problem.
really like glad to have this kind of great conversation with you, discussion. So yeah, and then also really looking forward to working closely with you from now, and then yeah. So thank you so much. Then
Hi.
Masaya already left, but yeah.
Yep.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for your time.
はい。
So
では、
yeah,
はい。
Okay.
that's all. Yeah.
That's all.
Thank
こ
you
ち
so
らにて
much.
イベント終了させていただければと思います。録画でまた配信できればと思ってますので、ぜひご覧ください。Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
Have a great
See you
day.
again.
ありがとうございました。Bye.